Hi, this is Iris, and welcome to Parapopulous. How about some Jailhouse Haunts? So, as you guys may or may not have noticed, I have been away for a little while. I had surgery at the start of November, and the chaos with all the stuff before that, and all the stuff after that with the healing and that. I've been away. I hope you guys can forgive me, but I'm here now. I don't know if that's any consolation to you. But enough about me, let's jump into today's topic. So, the original blog post about this, which there will be links to in the About description, to my blog and to the original sort of everything with the update, because there is an update to it. This started because Hosteling International Canada, which owns the hostel, which was the former Ottawa jail, decided that their 20-year relationship between the Haunted Walk of Ottawa was done. The basic short version was that it was a working hostel and that was their priority, and unfortunately that's how it had to be. Now, how this worked was that the Haunted Walk of Ottawa held scheduled tours through the hostel / former jail and talked about the history, the hauntings, that sort of thing. Pretty friggin' awesome when you consider that it's considered the second most haunted place in Ottawa. For those of you who don't know, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And this jail, pretty awesome, honestly. If you've never been on a haunted walk, if they're done right and they're not made up with additional facts just to be spooky, you get really awesome history and you get your little sort of paranormal outing, I guess let's call it. There are some groups that like to do this and like to embellish, and I'll say embellish instead of flat out right lie because it sounds nicer. This is not one of the groups, let me tell you that. I'm not affiliated with them, but their walks are awesome. Let's just leave that there. But, this jail was built in the 19th century. It remained open until the 1970s. It was closed in the 1970s due to inhumane conditions. Let's just talk about energy there. There have been a lot of hangings that were taking place on the premises, including the hanging of Patrick J. Whelan, who was executed for assassinating a Canadian journalist and politician, Thomas D'Arcy McGee. Shackleton has said that visitors hear door-knocking sounds or see doors swing open. And his thing about it was the history is important, but the ghost stories are all really part of the folklore too. Glenn Shackleton, who is the dude with haunted walks. And I agree with that. As long as we're not going out and totally being like, hey, that's the first fire hydrant ever, and Jack the Ripper was here. Some of you may have taken the tour that those notes reference to. I'm not going to finish the thought, but I'm just going to say, haunted walks, when done right, are fabulous. When you focus on the history, when you focus on the truth, and when you focus on the things that people have seen and experienced, you can make a very, very entertaining and educational tour without having to embellish or straight out fib. And I think when people catch on that you're actually just straight out fibbing, it really does hurt your reputation. I can tell you that these guys, their tours, not like that. Their tours are awesome. So when I read this, I was really upset. I was shocked. I was discouraged because, okay, first of all, I like ghosts. Let's not go anywhere out of this. I like the paranormal. I like the whole experience of it. I like the thought of it because I think it opens your mind to a lot of things. My thing is how many people went into this going, oh, we're going to get scared. This is going to be awesome. And they actually came out and learned something. How many people would have actually gone on a tour of a historical building, be it a jail, whatever, without that hook, that paranormal, spooky hook to get them in? And they came out learning something. How freaking cool is that? You got to experience history, you got to learn something, and you got to have your scare. It's so awesome. So I have to be pro right there with haunted walks and ghost tours. I think it's fabulous because, let's face it, the majority of these are focused on historical locations, be they standing or not standing. They're focused on a lot of history, a lot of facts. I'm a history girl. I love history. I think it's amazing. So maybe that's kind of why I'm skewed this way. And I can't imagine how many people have gone in there and been like, oh my God, I didn't know that. Or how many people would have never taken the tour if it had just been, oh, let's go see an old place. Woohoo. You know what I mean? Now, I'm all for touring old places, don't get me wrong. But I know the attitude of a lot of people is, no. So, so I was shocked about this. I mean, I understand it's a working business. Please don't get me wrong. It's a hostel. I got it. But let's just be honest. These tours put a lot of money towards the renovation and the upkeep. Maybe not a lot. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what the numbers are. But they put money towards funding to keep this historical building standing and refurbished and open. Now, I know the place, like, okay, you're going to have people who are going to want to stay in a hostel because it's inexpensive. I know you're going to have people who are going to want to stay in this particular hostel because it was a jail. So that's really cool. And then you're going to have people who are going to want to stay in this particular hostel because it's rumored to be haunted. So, I know there's a couple different reasons why. And I know that they're making the money on their own, and I got that. That's fabulous. It's good. But it's just how much have they done to pimp out this place? That's free advertising. You can't replace free advertising. And I mean, okay, maybe it might have discouraged some people who were like scared, like, oh, I don't want to stay somewhere haunted. But how many other people did it bring in for them who went out of their way to maybe go stay there, who maybe weren't hostile people? Yeah. And I mean, let's also talk about Haunted Walk being a smaller business and how many people that would impact in the local area. Feel good story angle there as well. I mean, I'm not ignoring that. So, I mean, the figures on this are close to 30,000 people take their Haunted Walk tour of the 153-year-old former jail, and about the same amount spend a night there. So 30,000 people a year go in on a tour of that place. Do the math. They may be at a slight annoyance as far as people walking through the halls. You're gonna have people walking through the halls anyways. It's a hostel. But 30,000 people they've brought through. 30,000 people who've now gone and told their friends about this thing, and it's free advertising. I don't know. You see how my mind works, right? So here's my thing. Now, the footnote to this is about a week after this original story broke. There was a follow-up to say that International, Canada, which owns the hostel, the former Ottawa jail, that it was misinformation. That it was a big misunderstanding, and they want to sit down with the Haunted Walk of Ottawa, and they want to sort of find a common ground and sort the stuff out. Furthering discussions, hoping to continue the partnership. I have not seen a follow-up on that. You'll have to forgive me because surgery and I've basically been under a rock, but I'm hoping they'll be able to work something out. regardless of the fact that, the place is supposedly haunted and people have seen things. This is historical. And anything we can do to keep something historical open, although they've made such significant changes, and they had to because it is a hostel now. You can't have guests staying in friggin', barred off rooms like, hey, everybody, how you doing? But it's just really, really important. And being that it is the nation's capital, yes, I am Canadian. It's the capital of Canada, Ottawa. There's a lot of people who go there. There's a lot of chances for people to learn history that wouldn't normally. And I can't even begin to tell you how important I think that is. And I know I've dwelled on it and I've kind of beat it around quite a bit, but there is nothing to me that, if it takes that to get you in and learn some history that you would have never normally learned, I think it's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I'm not for the fake haunting stuff. I'm not for the stuff where you have to make up stuff. And I know some of you are saying, well, this is probably all made up because ghosts aren't real. Okay, well, you know what? If they are or they're not, it is what it is. That's your choice to believe it. But enough people have seen it. And as long as they keep the tours authentic, and as long as they're not manipulating facts or adding facts or embellishing facts, I think this is the best thing that could happen. And I hope that they are able to work this out, or they have worked it out and they continue something. And I highly encourage you to take a tour. Go and see what you think. Learn some history of your local town or of somewhere you've always wanted to visit. It's a little bit fun. It's a little bit educational. And, you never know. You might get to say hi. Oh, man. So thank you guys for hanging out and tuning in. And please subscribe, whether you'd like to subscribe straight to your device or on iTunes. We're available either way. All the links to the blog will be there, and keep up with us. It's always fun to bring a friend when you go haunting. So until next time, boo, we'll be back in a few.